And we're off.
Okay.
All right. Quick recap.
Quick recap. We went to fight the giant Dawn Defender, pinned it under the portcullis, hear horns in the distance, and Praxis shows up going, all right, that's enough, everybody. Stand
Break
down,
it up,
drop
kids.
weapons. Break it up, kids. Yes. And immediately the Dawn Guard go, well, okay, boss says no, we're not going to fight you anymore, and we pull out Leafthorn. Apparently, he was not supposed to go as far as he did. His orders were to just basically find Killian, bring Killian back, not go on a rampage through a neighboring country, an allied country, or whatever the terminology might be for a country that's part of the Union. Um, and probably cause some kind of diplomatic incident or threaten to. I don't know. Anyway, we get him stripped of rank armor and we give him a little dunk in the river, or at least a river spray. His Dawn Rapier is given to Nemia. Bastion is keeping the Defender's Maul. Praxis goes in with us, sits down, and is kind of a little bit more straight to business with everything. Shows us a plain white mask that was found in the cult hideout. Initially thought that it was nothing special, but someone tried to retrieve it while wearing an identical mask, which indicates that it might be a little more important than guessed. It is not magic, but it is a solid piece of ivory, which would indicate A, somebody having access to that kind of supply, B, somebody having access to the funds to buy that kind of supply. There are creatures in the Summerlands that have tusks big enough to carve this. Might be a place to start looking for a trail. I believe it was. I can't remember if it was said or implied or anything. I believe that the whole quote unquote banishment thing is still kind of on the kind of the issue for Killian. But we can probably poke around the Summerlands and search for that. And Praxis does basically say, hey, if you guys come back and if you choose, you can visit me at my fort. It's that little island off New Haven. It's a big old temple to the Lord of Light, etc.
Yes.
So,
for reference, Lena would know this. Vague military knowledge. It is not a little island. It is.
that is very fair. It is a big island.
It is a big island. It is, 24-ish. It's about a 24-mile across island, which is a sizable chunk of land. I mean, compared to what's around it, it's not. But it is a sizable chunk of land to be solely owned and operated by the Dawn Guard.
Yep. The word little in my description was me just using a filler.
Okay.
And not a misunderstanding, but yeah.
Yep.
It was just a bad choice of filler.
Just wanted to make sure that it's understood that this is a massive island fort. It's massive.
It is.
Yeah. I believe he mentioned farms and craft and all that stuff, so probably fairly self-sufficient for a lot of things, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
Assuming it's decent farmland and other supplies.
I mean, if what's the max width? Like 24.8? Just for reference, I'm looking up. That's like 1/3 of Hawaii.
Which island?
The main one.
Okay, big island.
Yeah, it's sizable. Yeah. And historically, very defensible. So, yes. So, small correction to comment made last session. It is not early in the morning. It is basically it's later in the evening. It's about 6 o'clock or so. So it's very much it's dinner time. So food is prepared. The Valian warriors and the Union warriors are not mingling as they have just been fighting, but they are sharing the same mess hall. Food is prepared. Well, as much food as can be prepared on essentially military rations.
Killian, if he ever has a half second to talk to Praxis, recommends the
Yeah,
dude who
no,
got hung up by his underwear get a promotion.
Typing something in the chat about the guy hanging from the belt probably avoiding everything.
yeah, I mean, Praxis will take note of that. Yeah, food is had. It is not the most. It's not the most fancy of feasts, but it will do after the long, arduous, 2 days of trekking and the battle. Although you guys did quite well in the battle, there was seemingly not a huge threat to you all as you just plowed through the Dawnguard. So, what is the party's plans? So I know there was.
Up the river?
Yeah, 1 second.
Oh.
That was a
Just,
very concerned child.
Yeah. I guess while he's gone, party's plans? I assumed it was up the river, Golrick Village, then Summerlands, then over to Volt.
Uh-huh.
Because I
Something
think
like-
that's... Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Because it's pretty much all on the way. We don't have to tell Praxis about the Golrick Village, of course. Just, we're going to take a route up the river, through the mountains, hit the Summerlands. That's all he needs to know if he needs to know anything. Might just even say, we're going to take up the Curiosity, Summerlands, and then see where we go from there.
I could also just say we know a pass through there, been through there before, so we're heading that way.
Yeah. No, it's just if you're at all concerned with people in the Dawnguard knowing something like the route.
Sorry, I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to be any more specific.
Mhm.
That way.
So, Praxis isn't specifically asking you what you're
Okay.
doing, but just in general, so I know what's going on. Because
Uh-huh.
at this point, you said you wanted to question Magnus at
Yes.
some point,
Mm,
and then also you were going to stay and perhaps leave the next day, which just kind of accelerates that plan. So,
Mm.
morning is just a long rest away.
Mm-hmm. Do we
Yeah.
want to do Magnus before or after we rest?
After, I think, because Bastion needed to prep a spell.
Yep, that's fair.
We're heading towards a really dope ass smith. I'm okay with leaving now and heading there.
No, we gotta talk to Magnus. We're gonna Zone of Truth him, right?
Oh yeah, Bastion's free for that.
Yeah, but you'd need to prepare that spell tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Okay, so then yeah, we'll rest for the night now, and we'll interrogate Magnus in the morning, and then head out.
There is alternative version of Zone of Truth. That's me with a club, but
Let's do the magic one just to cover bases.
Alright. If that one doesn't work, then I got a big hammer now.
He's been like a single noodle in a whole ass pool for the last few hours. I'm sure a vague threat of violence isn't exactly gonna break him.
Oh, I was thinking breaking him first, then asking the questions, but that works too.
Well, you see, spending the night still dangling might
Yeah,
loosen him up a bit.
they gotta haul him up at some point. That
Yeah, 'cause
blood
that would
rush
kill
to
him
the
otherwise.
head. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they would give him a reprieve, but any
Honestly,
resistance would lead to further punishment.
honestly, haul him up and dump his shivering, soggy butt in whatever prison this fort has.
Mhm. Yep, fair enough. That can arrangements can be made for that.
Mhm.
After some time of enduring the water below, he's stored in the makeshift cells. Not makeshift. They would be actual cells here in this fort.
Gotta have something as a equivalent of a ship's brig for soldiers. that needs
exactly.
Something.
Exactly. I will say, over the course of the time you've been here, more Dawn Guard soldiers have been pouring in. You even see some of the the more town guard armed people that have just were used to buffer the forces, have been kind of slowly filtering in through pathways in the forest.
Killian will give smiles to any of the ones who are like shooting him dirty looks.
A lot of them are worse for wear, and most of them don't seem too happy to be there. Like they just want to be done with this for one reason or another, for the torment they've endured, for the just fighting they've been through. A lot of them look very worse for wear, as in they've been magically attacked. A lot of Fey encounters have left many of them very scarred, physically, mentally. They have endured a lot in this campaign.
Yeah. I nudge Killian, point at one, and go, so is it just me, or does that guy still have some kind of whiskers? Not beard whiskers, but that looks like he was turned into a mouse. His nose is twitchy.
Yeah, but like, also look at his pants. Like, I'm pretty sure he's got glitter like all over them. That stuff don't come out.
Okay, so maybe let's focus on my devilish heritage for a while.
Just kind of flatten down the hair a bit to make the horn stick out a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. Like Killian does the grab the horn and shake the head, like kind of like rustling the hairstyle, and he's like, you got these, you're fine. You don't got goat legs, right? Does Nemia have goat legs?
I'll leave that
no.
up to you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He just looks over and it's like that's not like a really convincing like. Okay.
Not yet, at least.
On either side of the bloodline.
Yeah,
really
it
that's
can
there.
happen.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, the line between Satyr and Satan is pretty thin.
What a coincidence. You think that the church did that on purpose?
So, Bastion, you set off to find gems, of which you found 3 suitable diamonds for potential future use. Not much else of value, as this is essentially a military outpost. After helping you with your investigation, Ulf kind of went off on his own. You did see him leave the fort, perhaps not entirely happy to be breaking bread with the Dawn Guard.
like he opens the door, closes the door, like some poor Dawn Guard flies out the window of the room he went in.
Basically. If you intend on interrogating Magnus in the morning, we can go ahead and eat and rest for the night, unless there is anything specific that a party member would like to do.
You know what? Not me, but kind of me. What does Biter get up to, guys?
Biter would
bunch of really tired like dudes.
I was gonna say, I want Biter to sneak into whatever place you think he can safely get into, and if he finds documents, bring them to Bastion.
I was gonna say he can go searching for like some poor bastard who's like half asleep from the trek here and just like swipe a ring off him with a nice gem on it or something.
We're good on metal. I have like gems now. We're
It's
okay
for
on
the
money.
fun of it. Spider needs something
But
to
it-
himself.
That's why we steal documents that might help us with the information we need to gather.
So, a biter can make a stealth check.
All right, let me go ahead and do that.
See
I
how
want to
well
remind you guys that Biter's hit points are very low, as is his armor class, and these people are all armed.
Mm,
Biter
Hold on.
does slink off, but is unfortunately noticed.
I was trying to find the spell.
Oh.
Sorry. I was going to give him dexterity bonuses. The cat's grace.
Okay, sure. At advantage.
Mhm.
where's
No.
12.
Higher than 10. 10 is a
Higher than
baseline.
10. So, Biter is going to be able to sneak out without drawing the attention of most of the guards.
Where's he going?
Who going?
Never mind.
Killing like looks around like, no, what are you talking about?
Don't worry about it. Tell you what, you keep doing your politics thing. I'll be back.
Yeah, and he starts chomping into a turkey like politics. Very important.
I'm gonna follow at a distance just to see what Biter's getting up to.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna have one witness to his crimes, and it'll be Lena.
Hopefully one witness to his crimes.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes, so-
if things go very, very bad, at least Lena will be nearby.
Yep, okay, so Lena follows after Biter to go, was told to go look for important documents. So you sent Biter, who does not read very well, to go get documents. So he spends his time looking for whatever he can find. Essentially, Lena, you would see him sneak into what would be like the mail room, I guess. It's in a tower, bird delivery messages can be received here. He essentially grabs a bunch of letters, like just this big stack of letters, and like on his way down, he runs right into you, Lena, and like holds up documents, saying, "Got him."
What did you get?
Documents.
Documents. I see. All right. Tell you what, I'll take a look at them and see if there's anything we need to keep. If there's not, I'm gonna have you put them back so nobody knows we were here. Got it?
Smart.
And Lena will just kind of flip through them pretty quickly, assuming that it's nothing that catches her eye.
It's letters from families.
Mm-hmm.
There's no official seal on anything. It's
Yep.
yeah. There's nothing indicating from anyone from anyone important.
All right.
One letter does strike you as odd, as it has no markings on the outside of it,
She'll
which is
go ahead and
strange.
open that one up.
In it, you find essentially just a jumble of letters written down.
Huh. I'm gonna fold that up, tuck it in my belt, and hand Biter the stack of regular letters, saying, "Good job, we got one out of that. Go ahead and put the others back."
All right, and he'll like quickly run upstairs.
You better give that boy beef jerky when he's back.
Yep, and he'll run back down. He'll
Like that for a second,
Eric?
Eric.
like he's trying to sneak some more, and he'll keep going. Hello.
You
better-
lagged out.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
He'll something and garble, garble, like he can sneak some more.
He'll go to the corner, looking around like he's trying to sneak some more. He's very much still on a mission, even though his mission is complete.
Yeah, Lena will casually follow, like 20 feet behind him, trying to keep him in earshot and eyeshot. And
He's just heading back to the mess hall.
okay, well, in that case, I'll go ahead and catch up and
Mhm.
take him up to the table, sit him down, and go, "Hey, Killian, pass over some of that turkey."
Looks over. What? No, get your own.
Hand it over, and I'm gonna reach over and grab some and then give it to Biter.
Starts grappling.
I'll fight you for it.
Athletics.
Hold on. Do I? I got rage left today. We're long resting.
Oh god. Don't touch my food. Okay, the combined score between the two of you, like you both just start trying to grab fistfuls of this jerky, and you're both trying to fight from each other. You're essentially grabbing onto it and just ripping pieces in half, with Lena making out with more of it.
I like to imagine that they just start beating the shit out of each other, and jerky just starts flying in the air, and Biter just like hack, hack, hack out of the air
basically.
as it falls towards him.
I'll toss one piece up in the air in Biter's general direction, and then go back to just trying to put
Insert-
face in the gravy.
Insert broken table here. Moving on.
Yeah.
So, after the fighting and eating and mission, you all can take your long rest. You could be put up in. There are essentially like visiting guest rooms that are supposed to be reserved for non-military members that happen to be visiting the fort.
For player knowledge purposes, Lena does gather the group together when they go to take a long rest. Private meeting, shows the letter. This was in the mailroom. Biter found it. Don't know what it is.
What
like a
does it
code.
say? Okay.
Look at it.
Kind of looks at it.
It
That is-
is a jumble of script.
He's gonna smell
That
it.
is a code that is not even trying to not look like a code.
Does it smell like anything?
Paper.
An ink? Regular ink?
Parchment. Yeah, parchment and ink. The what's notable about it is the jumble of script is very much in different kinds of script. What language do you all speak?
Common, infernal, elvish.
Common, Valiant, Draconic.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything. You can make out some Elvish letters, some Dwarvish letters, a couple common letters thrown in. A lot less of the common, though. It's like someone tried to jumble this mess together. Like, you can't... There's no way to read this without knowing how to decipher it.
Okay. Only thing I
'Cause,
can
you
think of is we each take what letters from languages we know, and we just kind of write their equivalent in common down in order.
I guess. Is it some
In
sort of like
case
weird
somebody-
magic? Are we gonna like summon a demon with this?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you have to say stuff out loud. Right, Nemia?
Well, this letter is either a T or a Baphomet. So
Just in case this is some wonky shit. Just quick identify. It's not like a spell that's gonna feeble mind us or something, is it?
You can identify it. There are lingering traces of magic. But it is no longer inherently magical, if that makes sense. Whatever magic was attached to this has been used up.
All right, I'm gonna just if we could find the practice real fast, just gonna knock on his door like, hey, quick question: do you have someone who can read a bunch of languages really easily, or use a spell for that shit or something?
I was gonna say, are we gonna bring it to Praxis?
I
No,
wasn't.
I was just gonna ask if you had someone who could do that.
I mean, you're gonna go ask Praxis?
I mean, if they stop me, then no. But
Is the party stopping him?
Devon's be right back, but yes.
Okay, yes.
Lena's thing would be, where are you going and why?
I explained.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then it might be, maybe it's better not to bring too much Dawnguard into this, even if Praxis seems alright.
yeah, fair. I was just hoping. I didn't expect any of the people from here to have a wizard on hand.
Julie will
Real
chime
cool.
in. Don't you all know a wizard?
Yeah, but she's not here. She's not here, is she?
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay.
She did say she would be waiting for you
In the Summerlands.
in the Golrick village.
Mm-hmm.
She has friends to go see there.
That's right.
I mean, I've got a spare sending if we want to just like ask her if she's still nearby.
I mean, yeah.
Go ahead, tell her we've got a puzzle.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, someone brought a puppy in my room.
No,
Oh.
say more right now.
What?
Say more right now. Elaborate.
After session. It's
Okay.
apparently the neighbor got a puppy, and
Oh.
it just got brought up and it's like, hey, look at this. I'm like, I guess it's a puppy, yeah.
I was desperately hoping you were going to say that you have a puppy, because Ozzy and that puppy would be a terrifying combo.
Yeah, you'd
Um,
be it. One of them would not survive.
Anyways, yeah, Bastion will do a sending real fast to you know who I'm talking about. Just can't remember her name right now.
L'Oreal.
Thank you. I almost called her Lauren. It's
Hmm.
close. Just hey, got a document needs translating. You're the most wizardly person we know. Are you still nearby the fort by chance? It's Bastion, obviously.
Eric here?
Eric? Hello?
Guess not.
He did.
By the way, I assume Killian. Like, I assume we didn't bring it into practice.
No.
Okay.
No. Turned to L'Oreal instead. L'Oreal is intending to meet us at the Golrick village, but Bastion did a sending just in case she's around. Hi, you missed the entire sending.
Oh.
Eric? Hello?
Okay. I had a bunch of kids come in here and start yelling. So.
Did you?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello? Okay. I had kids running here and it got very, very loud. Okay.
I got a puppy brought in my room, so, you know.
Oh, fun.
Mhm.
Okay. So, L'Oreal's waiting in the Golrick village for you, gal. So.
There was a sending spell that you missed.
Oh.
To
yes,
L'Oreal.
Yes.
What was sent?
Short version was, are you nearby the fort still? We have a document needs translating. You're the most wizardly person we know.
Can they? How does sending?
They have 25 word reply. They can do.
They
Answer in a
immediately.
likely manner immediately. Okay.
Yep, they know who the sender is.
L'Oreal will respond with almost at the village. Meet there to talk.
He will use this other sending spell and just. How the fuck did you get there that fast? Do you also have a boat?
Well, keep
Well,
in mind,
you guys spent 2 days to go to the fort, and she spent 2 days to go to the village.
We were both going north, right?
yeah, and then we just had the entire afternoon of raiding the fort and setting
She
right
went
at it.
this way. You went this way.
Okay, fair enough.
And then,
Well, I guess.
from
10
there
words
to here is like what we've been doing all day.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so just in the last 10 minutes, it'll be just. The last 10 words will just be. We'll meet you there. Tell the smith I'm coming.
she'll respond with, I don't know if he's too happy about that, but looking forward to see you.
All around me are familiar.
Okay. So, you have communicated with L'Oreal, you have a plan. What's now?
Sleep and interrogate.
Yeah.
Sleep and interrogate. All right, that would be a long rest for everyone as you settle into your humble rooms for the night.
So it's just like, it's like, all right. So what do we do now? And I imagine just Killian punches Lena, and just down the stairs, and the next morning.
That's state.
So, you all awaken, rested. You find the fort is filled with much more Union activity. You essentially see a good gathering of forces clearing stuff out. A lot of troops marching out of the fort as they are beginning to mobilize and withdraw from the old kingdom.
Killian walks down to like the lower area, slaps one of the guys taking taking a cask of wine. You leave that.
But okay. He walks away dejectedly. After the shit we've seen on the, and he goes away mumbling.
Killian, you took away his only lifeline. Look at him, he's sad now.
You can think about that next time he invades a country.
He
That's
scurries
about
away
right.
quickly as he sees Lena. Very quickly.
Oh god, there's two of them.
As we approach, Bastion is going to tap Nemea with enhanceability. Wrong one, I clicked enhanceability for charisma.
Wait, he ran away with Lena. Was that the dude who was on the underwear by his underwear?
Possibly.
It was either him or he heard about it.
Even a witness would be scared at that point.
It's one of the guys we knocked out. We didn't really knock him out. He just pretended to stay down and watch the whole thing.
Yep. Yeah, so Bastion is going to Eagle Splendor, Nemea. Basically, if you want to start it while the zone is up, in a way that he could be convinced to tell the truth first, I'd recommend it. Then if we need to move to violence, we'll do so. But the zone of truth will still be up.
Okay.
Nemea is the interrogator. Woohoo.
This gives me advantage, right?
Advantage, yep. And he's going to be the zone of truth, so if he lies, we will know.
Okay. Excellent.
Is Zone of Truth concentration?
Just duration time.
Awesome. Good to
Yep.
know. So,
when we get there, he'll cast it, but he'll explain first, like kind of once we enter, just basically, you either submit to this spell or we beat you until we're convinced you're telling the truth.
Praxis, who has joined you. Praxis has
That's fair.
joined you and is very aware of what you intend to do.
Oh, yeah, I
And
mean, yeah.
he'll mention that Magnus has been warned. Should he not comply, there will be far worse consequences than you all have wished on him so far.
Good.
Cool.
Well, let's have some fun. Nemea, you're a good guard.
Allow. Yep, he does.
What?
What?
There was a jumble of noise and I don't know what was being said.
I think you got. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, I think my mic is disconnected. That might have been why it sounded like that.
Okay.
Oh, he sounds like
Does that
Eric.
So, he does indeed submit to the Zone of Truth.
Also, I assume we can do it in a way where we can sit on the outside of it.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
we
it's
put in
just
in the border.
Yeah, it's 15-foot radius. It's not huge.
On a point of your choice. Essentially, you can put it against like the back wall of the cell and stand
Yeah.
back, and it affects only him.
Worst case, we accidentally hit another prisoner.
You know how
Yeah.
far 15 feet actually is?
You would have to
Yeah,
stand
but-
back to
Yeah, but
the
I
initial.
can place it forever, so it's fine.
Huh.
It's a point of your choice, not a point you can see, so you can't put it in a wall.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can just
Okay.
put it wherever. And
All right. fair.
You put it like just behind the wall.
Some poor guard walks by, fails, and goes, "Yeah, and I still haven't paid you back."
Basically. Anyways, before you looks a very ragged, nearly broken man. Magnus is, he's getting on in years, so he's not as young as he used to be. He can't take as much punishment as he once could. He looks absolutely miserable. And at first, he does not know what to make of the small tiefling approaching him.
And I'll shuffle a stack of papers.
Accountant from hell.
Magnan, is that Magnon? Is that you?
Magnus.
Magnus. Ah, okay. Sorry.
I can't help but imagine like Nemia has like the glasses just like down on the bridge of the nose, just looking down at him the whole time. Yes, right.
So, I'm gonna be pretty honest with you because I'm in a situation where if I think I see a little bit more blood today or in the last 24 hours, I might barf again. And it's not the best position for me, for you. So, if you follow the Son of Truth where you lie in, you'll probably solve us that trouble and many more possibly for you to come that will trigger my misfortunes. I can't promise much though. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, given the past week, I think our margins are pretty thin. So if you could just like go with it, it probably flow as smoothly as it gets.
I submitted to the Zone of Truth.
I look over my shoulder. Is that all?
No, here's the part about actually telling the truth when we answer the questions and telling us information.
Okay.
Do you two? It kind of looks towards the prince and the Valkyrie. Do you two want to start this off with questions, or?
Nah, you guys go ahead.
I got one. I want to know. Was it just your own stupid idea to go as hard as you did here? Or did someone else direct you?
I was directed to squash any traitors that got in our way.
By
But-
who?
And how liberally were they intending this term?
By orders of the council, the forces of the Dawn Guard were moved and positioned for this campaign.
Go glance over Praxis.
And kind of in between, now, do you find Praxis' intervention a difference of understanding, or did you get two different orders here?
Praxis is not the Union.
That's not my question. Praxis' intervention, because he took the order that you understood differently, or did you get two different orders?
I received one order from the council to find this traitor and to squash any traitors that would help him.
Praxis, did you get a similar order?
Praxis will answer. This was not my orders. My orders were to simply find the young prince and bring him in.
Good, so 2 different sets of orders. Alright, now, why did you think it was a good idea to attack a port city and attack civilians who had no knowledge of the prince being where he was? Are you just a bigot or something?
We were informed that the prince was at Friggsvager. Excuse me. And
why were
that there were and that troops were taking up arms against us.
From whom? Who did you get this information from?
From one of your own.
Which one? Give me a name. This will go far better for you if you answer quickly and don't test our patience.
I believe it was some Jarl.
And you thought it was a good idea to cut apart a bunch of civilians?
They took up arms against Union soldiers.
A bunch of
That
Union
alone
warships.
is an act of treason.
I can't tell if you're just a dumbass or...
If he says it, he considers it at least somewhat truthful.
That's the problem. I can't... It's very possible he's been compelled, been tricked, or if he's just a moron. Who the hell let you be a general? You incited a war with... You incited a war with the most militant country in the Union for one order? You thought that was an appropriate response?
An entire nation taking up arms against the Union.
A Union walking with a bunch of warships unannounced. You guys started the war. He didn't inform you. Their Jarl told you it was going. You had the cooperation of their leader of the area, essentially. But here to talk morals at this point. I'm tired of it. You're clearly an idiot. What other orders received relevant to this part of the Union?
Say that again?
What other orders have you received concerning this part of the Union, this like geographical area of the Union?
I have been told of the more highly defensible areas. And places to avoid, places to take.
By who?
The orders from the Union.
So you were told to take this country.
If it came to such show of force.
Alright, so you're going to list each one you can think of, and we're going to write it down.
Each place?
Yeah, each place you were directed towards or to avoid.
I assume if...
We were told we had a contact in Friggsvager.
Was that the Jarl?
Who would assist us, yes. But then he sent warning that the warriors were alerted to our approach and were taking up arms against us and were meaning to prevent us from completing our mission. We were told that there were the two most likely places the young prince would be found would be at his home castle or in the capital.
All right, and Are you aware of any spies placed?
Avoid force.
What?
Sorry, I didn't realize he was talking. I think I cut out for a second.
No, I think Connor. I think Eric cut in.
Yeah. That was a broken sentence.
Yep.
What
Eric?
was the last thing you heard?
Bastion asked a thing.
Mhm.
What did he say right before you asked the thing, Conrad?
He had mentioned like the two most likely places for the prince were, and then cut around there.
Oh,
No,
okay. Well,
no. He did say his home castle or at the capital, and then there was silence. Bastion asked the thing, and then there was a sudden like a couple of words from Eric that I now cannot remember what they were.
Something of force.
Yeah.
avoid the forest.
Avoid the forest.
The forests, if possible.
All right.
The forests in winter in the Old Kingdom are a dangerous place.
How exactly did you get your orders and your information?
Praxis will chime in. It is standard that we receive officially sealed documents from the chamber of the Union Council.
You don't expect him. Was that the only way you got it?
Magnus nods. Standard procedure.
And the only procedure you partook in during this campaign?
Yes. I am a good and loyal general to the Union.
I just want to make sure the Union isn't telling you anything different, any way different.
Praxis will chime in at this point. There's only so many hands that would have touched such a document. It is hard to imagine such a thing could be as lost in translation.
Are you told who writes those documents?
There is there's a scribe. The document is reviewed and signed by the members of the council. I saw it myself. These were not the orders.
It's almost 8 o'clock and
All right.
So the orders that you signed and sealed to be sent off to Leafthorn were different than the ones he received.
Seems so.
Did it have Praxis's signature on it when you got it?
It had all of the council member signature.
Does that include Praxis?
Yes, Praxis is on the council.
But you said earlier he wasn't the Union. What do you mean by that?
He is not the council. He is not solely the council.
Oh.
He has authority, but the council sits above him.
It's a group thing. Right, so we seem to have a situation where someone is forging signatures. Someone is going behind certain members of the council's backs. Maybe
Where?
not all of them.
Where are those orders you got? Did you burn them?
The orders would be stored with the rest of the documents received
Where?
in the
I'm assuming in the commander's
message room.
office.
Yes, the message room is actually where we keep most of our stuff.
How familiar is Lana with this sort of filing system? Is it basically just a scaled up version of what city guards would have?
More or less, yeah. There's a standard procedure to it, so yeah. You'd be
Lena's
able
gonna take off and just run and try to get those before they can be packed up and carted off by Union soldiers. Because I assume they'd be taking their documentation with them.
Mm.
So I'm gonna go look for that. They can continue to interrogate, but I'll be back.
How much information were you given on why you're coming after me?
Being pulled away, it seems.
It is a day.
Indeed it is.
Sorry about that. I missed a little bit.
Okay. Did you hear what I wanted to do?
You wanted to go find the thing.
Yes. The others are going to continue interrogating while I look for the thing.
So you would know, in fact, actually, that the room Biter snuck into would be where records are kept.
Mm-hmm.
So you know exactly where it is.
Killen looks to Praxis. Is there any magical anything on those letters? Make sure only certain people read them.
No, we don't employ such measures.
Do you employ measures to look through illusory measures?
I mean, I'm thinking we should now.
You know, every day I hear how the council functions, and it's just
Terrible. I agree.
lazy. And it's not even terrible because it's effective in doing the worst choices. It's just lazy.
It's
Not every
efficiently
country-
incompetent.
Not every city, not every country, not every town has access to the necessary magics. So
No, that's fine. Sending
Certain-
a letter to inform a general to go invade a country? My god. You think the general at least would have better spellcasters look through the shit?
Yeah, you're assuming a lot about spell casting in a campaign.
It's a first level spell.
Yeah. And?
Hmm?
It's a spellcaster. It's literal magic.
I know, it's just
That's a base level that is wildly varying depending on what setting you're in.
I know, just the castle had 3 Revivify diamonds, so I assume they have at least one cleric, and a cleric can do this. It's simple. It would take a single identify spell.
You've written the rules of what player classes can do. There can be healers that don't necessarily easily transition over into being able to prepare a message.
I know, but it still feels like a basic. Again, this is
So
criticism.
This is your setting, yes.
No, I'm saying it's criticism in character.
you would know that the Dawn Guard are typically paladins,
Mhm.
which changes things a little bit from your clerical ways.
But they have like okay, I'm not gonna get into it, but like they clearly have clerics if they have the diamonds. What I mean.
Yeah, possibly.
But yeah, then either way, Bastion will turn to the guy and it's like, all right, well, incompetence of the council aside, it's not something we can question under you. So, well, we still have you here. Do you have any spies elsewhere in the important points of this kingdom?
The Dawn Guard does not typically employ spies.
But do you have any spies?
I do
you
not.
or the Dawn Guard? It's the Dawn Guard.
The Dawn Guard does not employ spies.
Any informants? Nothing like that?
We operate in the light. How to put this? We operate in the light. There is no subterfuge. There is no.
Then what was the Jarl in Frixvager?
The Jarl, a loyal Union subject, simply offered in.
I assume that was intel.
Fraggers,
Simply
as he's
offered
saying this.
something.
Yep.
Simply offered something.
He's back. Information.
Information on the location of a known traitor, and he shoots daggers at you, Killian.
Gives him a kissy face.
Alright. If any other loyalists who have been helping you with this project?
No.
You weren't given any other helpful or vital information from anyone outside of the Union or the Dawn Guard, excluding anyone in the Old Kingdom.
No. He
Oh,
kind of
well.
sits back with a smug look on his face.
Okay, so I've got one last question. If you had to guess who was, from your account, intentionally tricking you into starting a war, who would you guess it is? If we assume it's not the Dawn Guard, not one of the Union members, who would you guess it is?
If you were to have me guess, who would be trying to start a war?
Who would be tricking you into starting a war?
Let's not
Someone
even.
to-
Let's have that second. Who wants a war with the Old Kingdom and the Union?
You know the answer to that.
Spell it out for me.
The other wolf.
All right, and if you had to guess anyone other than that, maybe someone who would benefit outside of the Union. Say the Union is being tricked here, the whole shebang of them, Praxis and everyone else. Who outside the Union would want that?
There are any number of individuals that benefit from war.
Then who benefits from war between
Armor
the
dealers, weapons dealers.
Yes, and who would benefit between these two areas of war?
Sorry, say that again.
Who would benefit from
God, I
war
don't
between these two kingdoms? Armor dealers, weapon dealers have no use making the Union and the Old Kingdom fight a war. The Old
Do you know
Kingdom support-
personally?
I do not know anyone personally that would benefit.
Have you had any
Successful.
interac-
Good.
I was gonna say, have you had any interactions in the past with spy networks who have tried to trick you guys?
I don't know why my internet's cutting in and out right now. What did you say?
He's asking about spy networks, which I have the feeling we know the answer to.
Yes, basically anyone in the past who's tried to interfere with the workings of the Dawn Guard, specifically through means like this.
You guys ever have to deal with corruption, Dawn Guard or the Union?
The Union, he takes a step back. The Dawn Guard operates in the light for the good of the people. The Union are the faces of the people. There is no corruption.
Has there ever been?
No, there has not.
Looks over to Praxis. What about you?
Praxis is for as long as I've been around, the Union and my order have operated, as he says, in the light. We try to do our best for the people, for everyone.
All right. Well, in that case, you got-
Mortals are not as great, but the ideals the Union and the Dawn Guard stand for are noble ones.
Well, Bastion will just kind of shrug. I think it's everything useful we're going to get out of him. As much of a waste of time. Personally, Praxis, if you feel fit to change the punishment he's received, knowing that this was not just incompetence, though that was definitely a factor. He's your soldier, do what you want, but I still think he should just be punished for being close-minded for the things he holds close.
There's a certain there is a certain level of the people of the Old Kingdom are citizens of the Union. This should never have gone as far as it did.
All right, I'm happy with a general that doesn't know mercy being stripped of rank. Sounds fitting to me.
Killian looks at Magnus. Do you think you were successful in this campaign?
If it weren't for the creatures of the forest coming to your aid, it would have been.
Hey, be careful, buddy. Those creatures live in our country, and if we're the Union, so are they.
There is strange magic in this place. I would even say evil.
I'm not inclined to believe what you think is evil is necessarily correct, but there is something afoot. I won't deny you that. So enjoy rotting in whatever position they put you in.
Lena come back at any point?
Oh, yes. Sorry, Lena can return. You were looking for things. You you basically come back with the official messages and records from the last I'd say last 2 weeks. That should cover the orders, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna look for the most official one, or the one at the beginning, or whatever the
Mhm.
time frame would be, and see if I can find the order sent from the council, signed by Praxis, by all appearances, and I'm gonna show that to Praxis, just to be like, "Is this your signature?" Or
It is what you would do if you were to find that document.
yay!
It is not there. There
All
is
right.
no such thing recorded.
Well, no documentation, which I know you guys tend to keep a lot of. So without any orders one way or another on record, just shrugs.
Oh,
Nothing to say that you didn't just go off and do as you please, is there?
there was a thing I asked earlier that kind of got.
Praxis will chime in. He truly. Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Oh wow, that is a hell of a delay you got there, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it is. I don't know what's going on. Every like 10 seconds, it's like cutting in and out.
Yeah. I was gonna say one thing that kind of got cut off with internet connection. Funnily enough, Killian asked how informed Magnus was about why he was going, like why they were chasing after Killian.
Yeah, he would have said that you were a known traitor and under suspicion of murdering council members.
Traitor on what grounds?
Suspicion from
Killing
other
council members. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. No, I want to be certain. And he goes, "Do you hear of any other suspects on that?"
It's just you.
There was no internal investigation to your knowledge.
I do not know the details of any Dawnguard investigation in the capital that would not fall under my jurisdiction.
Looks over Praxis. How about you?
Praxis will say, you are a suspect in the eyes of the Union, given your close involvement with these matters.
Yes, we know this. Was there any other suspects? Was there any other internal investigation? Was there anything other than chasing after me for the murders?
All reports I have received implicate you. And you alone.
On what grounds?
Did any of the reports, just as a side note, did they mention my investigation of the first body that was found? The one that had been deliberately falsified?
You see, Praxis think for a moment. Ah, yes. No. I did send it back for further investigation, but there is... Everyone who has been asked has reported the same story.
No follow-up. Okay. Well, Praxis, I really hope you're not corrupt, because it'd be a real shame to kill you. You seem at least useful.
It just looks at you like...
Glad to see some of this country's rubbing off on you.
I've always thought this, just never had the chance to say it out loud, Plus, I'm already technically a fugitive, so.
Oh yeah, what's the status of these guys in comparison to me?
It is known. It's known that you travel with a group of companions, but honestly, they don't know who any of you are. Your names are not known at large.
Except for me.
Except for the prince, because you are an icon. You are a figure for people to be drawn to.
Yeah, no one recognized me before I murdered a bunch of.
That's what a wanted poster is for. But that does lend an interesting note, Magnus. Sounds to me like the only thing, kind of like what Lena was mentioning, the only thing implying that you were not just trying to commit war crimes against the Old Kingdom is the word of a fugitive, me, telling everyone here that you're telling the truth. So, I'd suggest you at least keep that in mind moving forward. If we have our name dragged down in the mud, you have no defenses for what you've done.
Praxis will chime in. Oh, don't worry. His word won't go far.
And if ours doesn't either, then you don't even technically know that he's telling the truth. He could have been lying the whole time, and I could have just not told you.
I'd considered it.
And you're not much of a moron as I hoped.
All right. One last thing. Killian walks over and will walk into the zone of truth. He'll submit to it.
Okay.
It's probably on the end of it, so.
Yeah, the very, very ends of it.
Yeah, but he'll just lean on the cage. Magnus, I'm going to level with you. If you get back in whatever position you're in, and there's any sort of realization in your mind, you see any little shred of anything that makes you see even a bit of our side of this, if you've got any sort of remorse for what's going on today, for your little campaign, if you see any sort of corruption actually taking root in the people you want to believe work in the light no matter what, come find us. I'm deciding to leave your head on your shoulders, and that'll remain. If you give me more of a reason, fine. But you can go up from here too.
He doesn't respond to this, but you can see you have looked into his eyes. He knows the message has the message has gotten across.
Just don't forget the offer. I would hate if you're a better man than Praxis here, but if it turns out like that, I'll shake your hand. For fun, could he try a persuasion check on that?
Sure. Yeah. It is the most forced offer. To those watching, it almost doesn't sound like Killian means it.
That's kind of fair, actually.
Yeah.
Like, all right, there's one last thing I want to do before we head out here, but it's going to be a lot of me just sitting here for the next 10 minutes. So, if you guys don't want to wait around, I don't expect you to. And he'll just, you guys are familiar with it at this point in the past couple days. He's going to begin ritual casting Identify.
On what?
On Magnus. Because if he is under the effect of some sort of spell after my zone of truth ends, I will be aware of it and what spell it is.
Okay. Yeah, he is not under the effect of any spell.
Okay. Then after the 10 minutes, if anyone's still around, it's just nothing ongoing unless, things change thing on the side.
Right. At this point, Praxis will kind of nod at the lot of you. Well, that was informative.
Hey, got a suggestion.
Yes.
Someone took off with these records. Now, frankly, it probably could have been just about anybody given the opportunity, but if you want to focus on anything to do with this investigation, maybe look into whatever soldiers were assigned to the mail room in the last couple of weeks. They'd have had more opportunity than your run-of-the-mill.
There is, yeah, of course, it is something to look into. It would be, given the level of everything that's happened, of what they've gone through to try and make this war happen. What would stop them from just simply burning it, leaving us nothing to find?
Oh, nothing.
That's my concern.
But if you can keep an eye on those individuals, then maybe they'll slip up. Maybe there will be something else.
He nods. If there's nothing else for me, I will be gathering the rest of our forces and relinquishing the fort to your uncle, who I have not seen in some time, but I hope he makes himself known soon.
I'll try to go find him. He's been fuming for a while.
I understand.
The longer your men are here, the 1 degree higher his internal temperature gets.
Oh, I know the man. I'm aware.
Well, I wish you good luck with the very stressful few months you're about to have, in hopefully trying to figure out who this traitor is, and if not, dealing with us after the fact, coming after your ass. Inaction is just as bad here. I'd like to make that clear.
Just anyone, and I respect that in this manner. So I'll let all that slide.
So you cut off a little bit. Something, anyone in this manner.
You don't trust anyone, and I understand it in this situation. But and I will go ahead and let that slide. But I am acting to fix all of this mess.
Oh, maybe I wasn't clear then. It's not that I necessarily distrust your praxis. In fact, of the people I've met in the council, I trust you pretty much as far as I trust Ulf. At least I know what to expect from Ulf. But what I want to trust you to do is to be a good leader, not a traitor.
I'm sure he'll do fine.
I've done my best for a long time, and I will continue to try and do my best.
I suggest you get a fucking stepladder. Step the fuck up.
Wow, you think you're prince of the country or something. Look, Praxis, I'm sure you'll do fine. And if you don't, I want to fight you, so, win-win. Nemia, come with me, and just picks her up. I need your cat, it'll probably help calm my uncle down.
Oh, jeez.
As I leave, just make it clear. I'm not saying this is someone who particularly cares much about the Old Kingdom. I'm from the Brightlands. I expect better from you all. That's it.
Oh my god, we get it!
Killian, sick of the politics.
Mm-hmm.
There's whatever the sound of a gauntlet being thrown in the direction of Killian echoes through the hallway.
So Killian with like a Nemia underarm, if she's okay with it, is gonna go try to find Ulf.
Is Nemia okay with being carried along? Nemia gets carried a lot of places.
I was muted. That explains a lot of things.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
Long story short.
Okay.
All right. Is Killian able to find Ulf?
Yeah, Ulf can be found just outside the fort.
All right. Killian like turns a corner with like Nemia standing on his shoulders, like, tell me if you see him.
Do my sharp elf eyes.
No, you essentially you do see Ulf with the Old Kingdom warriors around him. He seems giving orders, preparing to assume control of the fort.
Killian
Lord.
walks up with a tiefling on his shoulders.
Ulf will simply look at you, look up, shake his
Wolf?
head.
Hey, uncle. How you doing?
Are they gone yet?
They're clearing out now.
Not fast enough.
We rake the bastard in charge, or who was in charge of the campaign, over the coals a bit more. And they're getting out.
I'm almost sad I missed that.
Sorry, did Praxis say you wanted a word with Wolf, or just he was going?
He hadn't seen him. He
Okay.
hadn't seen him, so.
Yep. Just give a word to Praxis if you can. He was one of the last bastards on the council, if I'm remembering correctly. So.
As far as I've known him, he's been a good man. So, I would like to think I could trust him.
Also, hey Nemia, do you know where the secret weapon is?
No.
No. Okay. Killian will just look around for Chili.
That secret weapon.
Chili would probably be
Yeah,
would be
she
nearby.
was
Yeah.
either on my shoulders or something.
Yeah, Killian will put Nemia down and then pick up the cat and hang it and hold it in front of Ulf and just hey, look at this.
Tis a magnificent beast.
Yeah, damn right. And he just looks to Chili and it's like he's in a bad mood. Can you cheer him up a bit, maybe?
This cat turns to you with the most angry, spiteful look that a cat's face can muster.
Look, I know you look at me like that now, but
Is
here's the thing.
Killian still holding Chili?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
He's just look, I know you're looking at me like that, but trust me, we kept some dogs. He gave the best scratches to their ears.
I'll send message to Chili as Killian's holding her. I'd say,
well,
convert
you
him and just crush him. That should put the
just for the record, you can communicate with Chili telepathically.
Like
yeah,
okay.
You could just straight up talk to Chili whenever you want.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so Chili begins to get a bit hot in your hands as you look in maybe almost horror as Chili starts to get a bit bigger in your hands and leaps off into full Hellcat form on top of Ulf. At first,
I like to imagine that's exactly when Bastion and Lana walk out.
And Ulf sees the cat leaping towards him, and at first you see is okay, and then as the cat gets bigger, he's like, oh no. As Ulf gets pinned to the ground under Chili.
I'm just imagining the cover of Animorphs coming towards you.
Basically. Ulf is that is a truly magnificent beast, as he's getting his lungs crushed a bit.
Do the ear scratch.
He does a little bit and he's it's quite hot.
I can imagine Chili biscuits and just mangles his chest.
Chili is slightly enjoys the ear scratches and allows it. Chili will quickly change back before drawing too much attention. Of course, you have now severely scarred 10 Old Kingdom warriors, but They have seen a
Imagine.
lot of shit. They have seen a lot of shit this last week. So
And that, gentlemen, is why you treat every cat like it can do that.
there's a murmur and like a nodding of heads from the group.
There's got to be a Nordic myth for that, right?
Well, there is now.
Thor have like two pull his vehicle?
So again?
Or those goats? Didn't Thor have two cats who pulled his vehicle? Or were that two
No.
goats?
That was goats.
Mm.
Freya was the one with the
Goats, eh?
cats.
Freya was one of the cats. Gotcha.
It's my understanding though that they're just normal cats, right?
Oh no,
Like,
they were great big
They were?
fluffy
Okay.
forest cats.
okay.
To be fair, quote unquote normal cats, when you're looking at like the forest cat breed, is still pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're gigantic.
Yeah, but it's not like it's two actually giant cats. It's
No.
they're
I actually
big
can't
fluffy
remember
cats.
I can't remember if any of the myths go into detail on that.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I've only ever seen art with really big ones, like sized up.
Oh, okay. I like to imagine they're
Just
normal, big cats, but
Mm.
normal size.
So Freya just makes herself lighter so the cats can pull her.
The cats
Anyways.
are freaking magic.
Yep.
Anyways,
Oh, by the way, Uncle, we're probably heading out soon.
good luck. If you're heading to the Summerlands,
That's
if you find time to enjoy a bit of your vacation, there are quite a number of fighting pits that you might enjoy.
blink, blink.
See Lena in the back, kind of her whole head like swivels slightly to follow this thread of conversation.
Kelly just gives his uncle a hug. You know me so well.
You'll have to try and do better for yourself than I did out there.
Hey, you raise an arrow? What you mean better? You get your ass kicked?
No, I didn't. Good luck.
He just kind of gives him a punch in the chest and it's like, yep. And I swear to God, if my dad said when I come back, I'm throwing the head of the dragon I kill at you.
I will not kill him unless he does anything stupid.
I get the feeling you've got a very broad range for that. Look, just like give him like 3 strikes. The first strike you just beat the shit out of him. The second strike you do the same. The third strike he's out.
Yeah, I'm being pestered now.
All right.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna have to go with that, guys.
Okay. Well,
All right. Well, until next time.
time.
Until next time.
Fighting pets.
Bye.